Have you ever seen a reel or a LinkedIn post that is older than 2-3 years?
No, not really.
Have you ever watched a video which is older than, like, on YouTube, which is older than 3-4 years?
Loads.
Yeah, so as you can see, the shelf life for YouTube is so much longer.
Where do we start with YouTube analytics? Because for the layman, it's really complicated, isn't it?
We need to be clear on what the goal of the video would be. So I said there are always two CTAs in my opinion. So I will, if a client is gonna say, hey, please subscribe, like, it's like, really? Like, for what?
Welcome to Embracing Marketing Mistakes, the podcast that helps you grow your brand and ROI by learning from the failures of the world's top marketers. I'm Chris Norton, and my mission is to help you, the senior marketer, avoid wasted spend and build smarter strategies from day one. Today I'm joined by David Greiner, co-founder of David Launa Co. He helps coaches and consultants use YouTube not for vanity metrics, but as a serious client acquisition channel. In this episode, David reveals the biggest mistakes marketers make on YouTube, why subscribers don't matter, and how to design a channel that reliably drives high-ticket leads. David will break down why chasing subscribers is a trap, how to use data to fix underperforming videos, and the automation tools that can cut time from 40 minutes to 2. So, as always, sit back, relax, and let's hear how you can stop wasting time on YouTube and start making it work for your business and brand. Enjoy! David Greiner, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, great. I mean, I'm a bit excited to get you on the show to talk about all things YouTube because, Will and I have been on YouTube, although we don't do videos to camera and things like that. We've done a couple, but it's a little bit awkward. And we're always looking for like advice on how to. I think we've got 4,500 subscribers to the YouTube channel, which is, not bad to say we've never actually pushed it hard. How did you get into YouTube as a tool for your clients? What prompted you to get into this and like break it all down?
Yeah, so actually was everything by mistake. So it wasn't like one day I was like, hey, I want to help more people on YouTube with business. So it was more like a personal story. I started, experience a little bit with the entrepreneurship side. So I was like, I like kind of finances. So I started actually doing like the short form stuff on Instagram. But I quickly noticed like, there is something missing, why it's not really working. Like, why is it not really kicking off? And then I started to say, hey, you know what? Let's try YouTube as well. I thought kind of was like the natural step. You start with short and then you kind of develop into the long form. And then I quickly noticed like, yeah, cool. So on long form, you can build more trust with the people because like, it's so hard to teach people about, especially about finance. Like, hey, in 30 seconds, hey, here's how you do with your money. And people say, okay, whatever. And, so I was started on YouTube. I fell in love with YouTube. It's like, wow, YouTube is so cool. You had way more analytics and all these things. And I got really like, I was soaked in everything like as a sponge because I was just like, yeah, as I said, like I like YouTube so much and I could see this huge potential because you can see all these other people having so many views and the subscribers and all the success they had. And so I worked on this, on our finance channel. And, at the same time, me and my wife, we decided to leave Germany and, start like our own life, our own entrepreneurial story. And we moved to Brazil with no plan. And, couple month later, she saw that her ex-boss, he's a CEO of a digital marketing company which does millions in revenue. He had a podcast, like just a picture he posted with like one of the biggest entrepreneurs in Brazil. They are like Stephen Bartlett level. And she's like, I kind of have the feeling that I should talk to him. Should I just talk to him? Because I feel like these people in Brazil, they are not that well with podcasting, like in the international market. So yeah, sure, reach out to him. So that's how kind of we fell into that. And it went so well, actually, that we got like with the first 4 videos, we got like 30,000 views. We broke the 1,000 subscriber milestone to get like the monetization going and all these things. And yeah, then we had 2 videos hit over 30,000 views. All the other videos we kind of touched on had all over 1,000 views as well. And it's like, I think there's something into it. Though back then a small mistake I had to learn is like we were focusing a lot on the view side. And, obviously this guy of this million revenue company, he's like, okay, cool. You got me views. That's cool. But obviously he wasn't as excited as us. And so then I had to learn, okay, how can I make it more exciting for these people? And then I learned basically views don't pay the bills. And I mean, a little bit of brand awareness is cool, but at the end of the day, if you can't translate it to real revenue or like real results, then like, yeah, it's just views, you know, try to pay your employees with views, right?
So without, I mean, why don't you talk us through how you can actually monetize YouTube then? Because I think a lot of people will be listening to this thinking, surely YouTube isn't primarily a lead gen channel. You know, they will think about, you know, perhaps using Meta or LinkedIn or something like that. So I suppose there's a two-part question. One, is it effective at lead gen? And how do you use it as a lead generation channel?
So obviously I'm super biased. For me, it's like one of the best lead gen channels out there. So the huge difference obviously is like I'm not saying stop doing all the other stuff. For example, is because like in 5 minutes I can write you now, especially because of AI, I can write you something, a quick post on LinkedIn. That's cool. For YouTube, we know it's like, okay, we need to have the idea. So which is obviously helping our audience, not just something because I felt like. Then we need to work on the title. We need to have then the thumbnail, and those need to work together because it's like one of the most important things so people can click. Because if they don't click, they don't watch. And then we need to work on the whole script with the hook. Because this is where we lose most of the people in the first 30 seconds. We can always see that in the graph. Like, that's why also YouTube is always saying, you have like 50% of the people still in your video after 30 seconds. And then, yeah, the full video as well. And then you have the whole editing. So it's obviously taking longer. So that's why I understand that not everyone wants to jump on YouTube. So the huge difference though is, I like always to use like the psychology behind it. And there's Robin Dunbar, a scientist. He says it takes around 7 hours to build trust with a person. It doesn't matter if you're having now a call or if people watching this podcast as well, or if they're even reading a book, or if it's actually in person, like this still exists.
Yeah.
So therefore, like to have, like if you're thinking now about the typical shorts, they are really usually ranging for 30 seconds till 60 seconds. It would take you like more than 400 shorts to come to these 7 hours, while for the, like, it's been talking about a podcast. Yeah, 7 podcasts and you have already the 7 hour mark in. Now, the other thing is, there's a little bit of a pet peeve. Like, I always write this in my LinkedIn post. I always say, like, link in the comments because LinkedIn doesn't want you to have better business results. LinkedIn suppresses usually the links, if you post them in your post, while YouTube actually likes it if, like, they're actually helping you. They know what a huge support they can do for businesses. Now, for the lead gen wise, like if you're just talking about factual numbers, if you take in one of our sales coaches, our clients, he's a sales coach. So we're not talking about AdSense. We're not talking about sponsorship. I'm talking you purely about lead gen because, 1,000 views get you like $10 in AdSense. Like this is peanuts for a business. It's a nice to have. Obviously, it's better to have $10 than to need $10, but so he's getting, around 10,000 views long form. I'm not counting even the short form per month. And from there, we are getting more than, we're getting more than 100 clicks on the landing page. So if you're talking now also about the trust, he's getting a 20 to 30% conversion rate on his landing page. And yeah, this is something I don't see with other platforms. And we're tracking everything, obviously, with UTM parameters and all this stuff. And another big thing is when we talk about shelf life, about different formats or different platforms. So we know, have you ever seen a reel or a LinkedIn post that is older than 2-3 years?
No, not really.
Have you ever watched a video which is older than, like, on YouTube, which is older than 3-4 years?
Loads.
Yeah, so as you can see, the shelf life for YouTube is so much longer. So in average, Steve Patel has a data, it says like, it's around 17 days. And, actually the sales coach has a video which is like 4 years old, 6 years old, and they have like 200,000 views in it every day. 100 more people are coming in. So it's like, so that's why I think YouTube is, for me, the best platform.
So let's break down the actual content of a video then. So we know we can, if we build trust, we need the 7 to 8 hours of kind of authoritative content. We'll come on to that. We can convert them through a link in YouTube, which you say YouTube particularly favors. But how do we create a hook, and what do we create our videos about? And that's a broad question because it depends what sector you're in. But how soon in the video do we need a hook, and what kind of hooks should we look at?
So the most important thing, this goes like basically for everything content especially, it's always about the audience. Because if you're just doing content for ourselves, like, okay, this is like, you can call it art, but it's always about the audience. So something we do with all of our clients is when we start work is like, okay, who is the audience? Because we really need to understand, like, what is their voice? What are their pains? What are their desires? And this obviously then shapes the whole video because, yeah, if like sales coach, okay, we can talk now. If we're just talking to the normal salespeople and we're going to start talking about a CRM, yeah, they won't watch because like a salesperson usually doesn't like CRMs. But instead they want to hear about objections. They want to hear about sales scripts. So this is very important. The same thing if I'm taking my case where I'm talking about YouTube. If I tried two times, teaching entrepreneurs, business owners, this is how you create nice titles and thumbnails. But the truth is, they don't really understand the importance of it. And no business owner is sitting there or like thinking at night, like, man, I wish I would know how to create better thumbnails or titles. So this is something very important. We always need to have the audience in mind first. And this goes then as well then with the title and the thumbnail. As I said, it's like about, we need to make them click because we can have $1 million business. We can have billions of clients, but they don't know this as long they're not clicking on this video. So that's why title and thumbnail is so important. And here we usually work with psychology. So I learned these things from Jake Thomas. He's like the title king of YouTube. And he's saying there are always like 3 click triggers, the most dominant one. And usually you can combine 2. So it's usually always is curiosity. So you always need to make them, okay, how can you make them kind of feel like this video, you need to click on this video now. The second thing is then it's desire, and then the other one is fear. So we either wise can do like curiosity with desire or curiosity with fear as like the 2 prominent combinations. And there again, we need to speak the language of the client as well. So for example, if we so we had recently with our sales coach, we had one video which wasn't performing so well, and it was simply because we use jargon. So this is something, never use jargon because it's like people only who are like your peers, they will understand. So we need to make the language so easy that basically everyone understands it. No jargon, make it super simple to understand and really play with the emotions like, I want to click on this. So for example, sell better, sell more, or never get rejected again. It's like for YouTube, like, this is the easiest script on how to get more views, and et cetera, et cetera. Now, then with the hook, usually we say on YouTube, it's like 30 seconds. So the easiest to follow is actually from Alex Hormozi. It's approve, plan, promise. So in the beginning, as I said, no one knows who you really are. And if you're talking about on YouTube, you can see this in your analytics. We usually always talking to 80% of new people all the time. So we always need to say, okay, for example, hey, I'm David. I've been working with many businesses. We created so many views and so much, we created so many leads and so much money just through YouTube, because otherwise they're going to think, okay, cool. You have a nice video. You look nice. You look friendly. You have a nice title and thumbnail, but why should I listen to you? And then, which is like very simple. It's like, first we're going to tell them also the promise, like, okay, this is the promise you clicked, and I'm going to give you exactly why, like the promise. I'm kind of reflecting it again, kind of repeating it. So they're like, sure, like, okay, I clicked on the right video. And then people like to be guided. So then we can also use like a quick plan, say, hey, we're going to have like 3 steps on how I walk you through to never be rejected again in your life. And you're going to have a closing rate of 80%. And I say usually, it should be around 30 seconds. Now, if you're talking about podcasting, also, it's a little bit more difficult to hit the 30-second mark. But yeah, I would say around like a minute till a minute 30, unless it's like, the Diary of the CEO. I mean, they're always doing like a small mini movie in the intros.
Yeah. Yeah, because you talk about the 80-20 principle, which most people have heard of, but you sort of strip it back, don't you? You strip a lot of stuff back to keep it simple and focus on to get 80% of your profit. Do you want to explain that process a little bit to people? Because the people who listen to this will be from the marketing world, and many people are aware of the 80-20 principle, but how are you applying it?
Yeah, so obviously 80-20, there's always the 20% that bring the most results. And if I'm thinking more about YouTube, so as I said, with the short form, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I can see it also in the data, like we talked about the trust, and I can see in the data nowadays how many of your regular viewers are watching the shorts. Now can I see like, okay, the number is much, much lower, although like we can get much more views for shorts. So I think shorts are more like for new people, but they usually don't stick around. And I can also see in the data from our long form videos, there are only like 2% of people clicking from like the short form to the long form. So first things first is always, okay, let's focus on the long form video. Now, then I said, so on YouTube, we have like this order, what is like, brings in the most results. So the first thing, as I said, is like idea. If you don't have a great idea because it's not aligning with the audience, then this video is almost for nothing. And then the next thing would be, okay, let's focus the next part. Let's focus on the title and thumbnail. Because as I said, if they don't click, they won't watch. And the next part would be then the hook. And this is exactly how I plan my videos then as well. So I think a lot about my idea. I analyze, okay, what could work, what could not work. Then we focus on the title and thumbnail. Okay, how can we make them click the most? And then it's like the hook. This is a hook for my personal videos, for example. I script them out. The rest, I just use ChatGPT. So we all have the knowledge in our mind. So I'm speaking before I record a video. I just take the mic and I'm going to speak all my ideas I have about the video. I just speak in the mic. Then I just go back to ChatGPT and say, hey, can you order this in like nice bullet points and order in a way that is like the most novel way. So something people haven't heard 1,000 times yet. And then I said, okay, is there anything missing? And said, oh, you could maybe talk about this. And there I have it. So I was like, even for the scripting process, I take around like 10, 15 minutes maybe to script, as like 10 minutes or 12 minutes probably go into the hook. And 1 minute goes in the outro to say like, okay, the goal of this video is to either way send people to another video or to send them to our landing page. If it's, for example, a deep dive. And yeah. And then I just speak in the mic, and 1 minute I ordered them in ChatGPT, and that's how I basically plan my videos. Now, another thing is like I always think, okay, what is parts I don't like to do, or like they cost time but doesn't bring a lot of stuff? And that's, for example, the description and the meta tags and creating the chapters and all these things. They don't really do a lot of stuff. Like the video is more important, obviously. So then I started to dabble around with Make, the automation platform. And, now within 2 minutes, I can create 2 UTM, links. And so like a trackable links, which either way send people to our landing page or to our school community. Then a quick summary of the video, like 1-2 sentences if people say, okay, is this video really for me? And then the chapters. So I don't need to rewatch the whole video, say, okay, it's 1 chapter, 2 chapter, 3 chapter. And at the end, just the keywords, which I'm like I don't even check if they're right. I just check, okay, is there anything that it would be like really weird? But yeah, that's it. So it takes me like 2 minutes to write the description, something which took me like more than 20 minutes. So that's how I approach it.
So, the actual video, the actual content of the video you would recommend would be some kind of value, i.e. advice or an expert guide or something along those lines. I can see how that could work if you're targeting consultants or, sales directors or something like that. But could this approach work for businesses in any sector, or is it restricted to kind of certain key jobs or roles or sectors?
No, I would say this goes for all sectors, all industries. So the simple thing is like Alex Hormozi always says this. I don't know what the original origin is. It's like, we give away the secrets for free and sell the implementation. So, and I really can feel this as well. So, if we just, there are many reasons. So first of all, you prove already that you are the man. You can solve me this problem. So it's okay, cool. Sales coach. Okay. You know how to sell. YouTube guy, me, I know how YouTube works. Marketing, you know how to get more people. Then the other thing is, like, especially nowadays, there are too many gurus that just promising the dreams. So this is something where you're gonna stick out as well. Then you're building the trust as well, I believe. So, because like, yeah, okay, he already showed me all this knowledge. He's giving it all for free. Like, I remember in the beginning when I met Alex, I was like, wow, he's giving everything for free. This is so crazy. Like, I was so in awe. And yeah, it was also like unique. But then I was like, then you start thinking, like, man, imagine what the paid product would be. It's like the paid service. So yeah, that's how I felt. It was, who was it recently? I was watching something. I was like, yeah. So as I just started to go into the whole school community stuff, so there is this woman, Evelyn Weiss is her name. She's talking all about how to grow your school without an audience, just with ads. So like the fastest way. So I watched all her videos when I just started recently, and I was like, cool. Man, as soon this is gonna work out, like, we haven't launched it officially yet, but as soon as it's gonna work, the first dollars I'm gonna make, I'm gonna reinvest in her community to learn even more about her. So I watched all her videos, got all the good knowledge. It's like, man, imagine if you could have like more touch point now with this person. So yeah, that's why I think it works for all industries, because you just prove you can do this. You show like many times, okay, I've done this in this case. And then you can also say, hey, okay, I had this specific case. And it's like, man, this is exactly my case or very similar. So, that's why I think this is the only way to do it. Because if you just gatekeeping everything, it's like, yeah, people's like, man, there's probably someone else who's giving me all the info, and then I'm going to trust him more than you.
How long?
I like that. So what's that quote? Provide the knowledge, sell the implementation. And I think probably, a lot of people
give away the secrets for free and then sell the implementation.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are afraid to do that, aren't they? But that's, it's kind of flipping that on its head, isn't it? Like you say, demonstrating the knowledge, adding as much value as you can, and then building that trust. And then naturally when, you have that kind of, so when it comes to the kind of call to action, then, you can obviously, how do you actually include the link in a YouTube video? Would you include it in the kind of description of the video? Would you include it as a sticker on the end frame? What's the kind of the most effective way to do that? And how direct can you be in terms of asking people to take some kind of action?
So what I found is it's depending on the video. As I said in the beginning, we need to be clear on what the goal of the video would be. So I said there are always two CTAs in my opinion. So I will, if a client is going to say, hey, please subscribe, like, it's like, really? Like for what? Like for some vanity internet points. So it's like, watch the next video. Simply because we want to get more trust. Like the longer they stay on the platform, they're going to build more trust. Also, YouTube loves it when people are going to start binge watching your stuff. And another one is, go on my website. So here's how I plan it. If we're having like, let's say, for example, for solo episodes, like we're having like more smaller bite, videos, then we're always trying to send them to the next video. And then we're having one major video, which is usually like a deep dive. And this is like where we really show, okay, this is not all like, maybe it's like 4 videos packed in one, kind of like 4, like where we had like 4 different videos, like where we kind of split the aspects. So it's like in my case, okay, one part is like we're talking about how on thumbnails. The next part is about how to getting more views. And the another part is like how to get more clients to the video. And now I could make like a huge complete video where I talk the whole strategy, maybe a whole case study about it. And this one is then where I really give everything out, like the whole strategy, how I built the whole strategy for my clients. And then I say, hey, and if you want this for yourself, click the video down below. And yeah, down below, I always have my links there. So in case, people want more, but there's only in this case when we're having a deep dive to send people then to the landing page directly. And as I said, very importantly as well is like to have trackable links. Very important, because this way I could see now, okay, the deep dives, they perform exceptionally well. So we're having, I think it's our first video on our new channel. It was a podcast masterclass, and this video had like 200 views, like nothing much. We kind of got not really found in the algorithm this time, because we got mostly just shown in search, unfortunately, but like 200 views. And we got like 20 clicks. So we're talking here about a 10% conversion. Now we're having other videos, which are like, for example, we're having some podcasts. They got like 300 views, but yeah, we got like, what was it? I think like it was like 5-7 views. So it wasn't more than 2% if I remember correctly. So then I could see, okay, obviously makes sense. If I'm having a podcast with another influential guest, like who's on my level, it's going to be harder sending people now to my landing page. That's why also I say every podcaster should have solo episodes, so you can start now building trust with your own audience, because as the host, you're usually not the star like the guest right now. I am more the star than you guys. You're just there to guide this interview, to ask the question your audience would like to hear. And as I said, like imagine now you would say it like we would have Alex Hormozi on the podcast and say, hey, okay, Alex Hormozi has so much cool knowledge, but by the way, if you want all this, click my link. It's like, yeah, that's weird. So that's how we do it. And another thing is also, if you're talking about videos in general, so we had this video which went exceptionally well for our channel. I got like 800 views. And like 2 people click in. I was like, okay, now we can see not every view is equal. And this makes a huge difference, because now I know, okay, if I want if I try to grow this channel, okay, I can go this route. But if I want actual business results, yeah, I shouldn't do this video. So I should do more like deep dives. And this is something I'm going to be trying now to do like every 3-4 months, to go with the deep dives and then sending people directly to our landing page. That would be the goal.
Where do we start with YouTube analytics? Because for the layman, it's really complicated, isn't it? And it's quite different to any other social platform. You know, if people are kind of just getting started, what are those key metrics they need to be looking at?
Yeah, I totally agree. Like first time you open YouTube analytics, like you can see almost everything. It's crazy. So one thing is, I would always treat YouTube like a part of a business. So very important is we having returning viewers. So because if we don't having returning viewers, we can't grow. It's like churn in a business. Same thing. We need to keep the same people in there and try to grow this base. So this is something I would look. Then there are some major KPIs, I would say, on YouTube, which are always important. So the first thing is the CTR. So like the click-through rate, how well was your title and thumbnail, to see that. And another thing is the average view duration on YouTube as well. Because as we know, each platform is differently. So for example, LinkedIn, they want engagement. So you need a lot of comments and likes. Instagram wants to send features. So they want to to connect with friends. So they want to send features. On YouTube is like, they always talk about satisfaction. And one of the main KPIs you could see is in the average view duration. So if you try to always improve this, this should be this should be your golden ticket. You can also see if you're having, let's say in average, you have like a 20% of average view duration on a podcast, and then you're having one video, which is like 15%, you're going to see immediately that you won't reach the same views as the other videos. So that's how you can also see like how important it is. Obviously the YouTube algorithm is super complex. So, they have obviously more parameters, which we don't know, but I would say these are like the 3 main KPIs.
The other thing actually that our listeners might find useful, how do we, what's the best practice when it comes to YouTube SEO? So, let's say we launch a video, there's a ton of value in it. We're answering the question our customers are asking, the actual video is high quality, but how do we make that more visible in YouTube? I mean, obviously it's a huge second biggest search engine in the world, isn't it? Is there tricks or hacks that we can do?
So one thing is there are no hacks on YouTube.
Right.
So if I can tell a story back on YouTube, I don't know, it was like many years ago. There was there were many females on the thumbnails back in the days, like very pretty females, but these pretty females never appeared on the video itself because people just done clickbait and people left, and YouTube's like, damn, we're getting all these views, but people kind of got sick of YouTube because everyone is just doing clickbait. How can we solve this? And that's why YouTube is also analyzing now the first 30 seconds. Like, are you really keeping your promise of the video or not? And that's why hacks don't usually work. YouTube is always trying to find out how to work out their own hacks. Now, SEO is actually not a thing since 2019 anymore, really. We're still getting every month probably getting lots of emails from some people saying, hey, I can help you with your SEO score, but that usually doesn't work. Now, you said it correctly. YouTube is like the second biggest search engine, but in fact there is a statistic that 70% of the main traffic on YouTube is coming through the whole recommendation feed. That means the home feed or like the videos on the side when they're watching. So that's why I would focus on this. And the reason why also like YouTube is not really focused on SEO anymore is YouTube reads the whole transcript of your video. It's reading everything, and it also has the AI, which is like checking also on the visuals as well. Now, we had, for example, a podcast with Greg Wasserman. I did mention his name in the title. I put his name though in the description so people can find him though afterwards with his clicks. But if you type in like Greg Wasserman podcast, you can find, and it shows in the transcript, it was like at 16 seconds, like, yeah, today we have Greg Wasserman on the show. We're talking about this and that. So that is just a proof to me that YouTube is actually focusing, like is scanning your whole video already with the transcription. Now, as I said, okay, how can we make it more discoverable? It's like, as I already repeated like 3 times, we need to work on a title and thumbnail to make it exciting for our audience to click. And yeah, for a smaller channel like ours right now is a little bit tougher because you don't have too many data and too many people coming back because like you have no audience. So, but yeah, work on the returning viewers. Always try to see if they're coming back. If you're going to see suddenly that you have a dump, it's like, okay, what is the problem? Are the topics? Is the video the problem? And, yeah, it's all about being seen in the recommendation feed. This is obviously very difficult because, if you're going to put a video out, we're always going to be seen with the biggest people. So if you're talking about entrepreneurship, yeah, you're going to suddenly compete with Alex Hormozi and Stephen Bartlett at the same time. It's like, oh, okay, how can I compete with these big guys? So one thing I would say is like, if you like super niche, they can't compete in your niche. Because they've got so big and so broad that if you're going to speak directly the words of your customers, like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm feeling right now. I need this video. So this is how I would tackle it, and this is how I tackle it with all our clients.
So what's the biggest mistake you've made in YouTube then, David?
Yeah, so as I said in the beginning, so my previous channel, as I said, it was a finance channel originally. And I did a huge mistake I seen with too many big channels as well. And I call it the Carnival channel. So since I'm in Brazil, Carnival. So it's like, what I mean is like, it's going all over the place. So I had this finance channel, but then I was like, okay, it's kind of always the same. Let's try something else. So I did this video about how I learned a language, like the lazy way. And it went so well. I got like 27,000 views is what my best performing video. My second best video only had like 4,000 views. And then I started to do a little bit of lifestyle here, a little bit of how I helped here and some experiments. And so I was like, okay, this is not a pure finance channel anymore. So now I basically have on this channel now a group who subscribe because of the language channel. Then I have a group who subscribe because of the finance side. And then I have a few people subscribe because of the health stuff I did, where I didn't eat sugar or I tried to do a fitness routine. So it's like, if it's like a party, it's going to be like super confusing. You're going to see like these 3 groups. And this is what many people are doing as well. You know, it's like, okay, I'm a sales coach. Cool. I'm going to teach about sales. Let's tell them, let's do a vlog. Show them how I make my coffee. They say, yeah, okay, some people like to watch vlogs, going to watch vlogs, but the people who like to watch sales videos going to watch sales videos. Said, let me talk about how I manage my private life after work with my wife. And so I talk about my relationship with my wife, and AI is cool. So let me talk about AI.
That's a different channel, isn't it?
Yeah, then it's like getting all over the place, and this is not going to work. And another thing is, as I said, I had this video, 26,000 views. Nice. The problem though is it made like $0. Our clients having videos with 500 views and they're making like $15,000 out of it because they're having 3 high ticket clients making out of this. So this is what I had to learn as well in the beginning when we helped this CEO, as I said. It's like, hey, we got you like 60,000 views just with 2 videos. You monetized now, like you're getting now a little bit of extra money. I know it's not much, but hey, why not? You're getting recognized by YouTube. It's like, yeah, but that doesn't excite me really. It's like, what do you mean? You're having great results on YouTube. It's like, yeah, so I had to learn, okay, this is actually for business. It's totally different how YouTube works than for, let's say, YouTubers, influencers. As an influencer, you need all the views. You need to be seen. So sponsorships and all these things, you get your AdSense. But yeah, a business, we need to tackle the lead side. And I think this is the most effective side. If you're doing like, hey, we only focus on our audience. We're only doing we're doing every 4 months or so, every 3 months, we're doing deep dives where we give everything out for free and try to bring people many people on our landing page. And, we can also see that we had, I think it was April, we had with our, sales coach, we had our best month. There was like 12,000 long form views. I was like, wow, cool. We started at 4,000. So we tripled the views and everything was going well. The leads were going better as well. And then we had July. We had a month. We only got like 9,000 views. So I was like shocking, like, damn, 9,000 views. So he was like, what's happening? It's like, well, this is actually our best month. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, we had a record in leads this month. He's like, wow. So more views doesn't mean more views. And this is something I think most of the people need to learn. I had to learn. And, I think, there are too many people still screaming out brand awareness. You need more views, more views, but, more views don't translate into more revenue at the same time.
So, aside from YouTube mistakes, have you ever made any other mistakes in your career over the years, work related or otherwise, that you can think of that you'd care to share?
I think all the time, probably. I think most about marketing is always about learning the mistakes. I mean, I'm still pretty new into the entrepreneurship. If I think about it, it's like I've been now 2 years into it. Before I just was a wannabe entrepreneur where I was just binge watching Alex Hormozi stuff. I think the biggest mistake is in the beginning, as I didn't know exactly what my audience wanted. So this is a big problem. So if I talk like, okay, I'm going to show you how to get more views on YouTube, or this is how to make it better title or better thumbnail. It's like, yeah. People, I still think I have this a little bit. I'm still kind of figuring this out. It's like, I don't want to be seen as a YouTube guy. This is the big problem, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to get you more clients. So this is my big promise. And I've seen some other, like I had on LinkedIn the headline, like, I'm going to get you more clients on YouTube or through YouTube. Well, first thing is, I felt like I was fighting more my competitors than actually trying to speak to my clients, because like I see too many people, as I said, they're all talking about, I get you more views. I get you more views. I get you more views. Okay. I do a little bit of editing. I do a title thumbnail for you. I said, yeah, I'm not like this. I'm focusing purely on the return of investment side here. And then I was like, okay, I'll get you more clients on YouTube. And then the second thing is, most of the people who are posting content on YouTube, they're not just posting content on YouTube. They're also posting on LinkedIn. They're also posting on Instagram. So it's like, they don't care if a lead is coming from LinkedIn or from Instagram or from YouTube or from a referral. They're happy. A lead is a lead, right? So yeah, this is still something I have to work on. How can I cut more through the market with this message? And yeah, right now, this is still something I'm working is how can I be not just how can I be different from just a YouTube guy? And how can I make YouTube the no-brainer to everyone who's posting also on all these other platforms? Like, they don't know all these things I just said about like YouTube is the biggest trust builder and YouTube doesn't suppress links. It's actually helping you because YouTube says, yeah, we're helping businesses and all these things. Still something in the work.
Yeah.
What about the difference between subscribers versus leads? Because like we've got like 4,500 subscribers on our YouTube channel, right? But we don't really, like you were just saying there, you're explaining like, the videos are all about, different things. You come out, you script a video. Well, we're interviewing podcasts or solo podcasts or webinars or whatever. That tends to be what we've put on our YouTube channel. How do you figure out what your audience want? I mean, looking at the data, I suppose. Maybe I'm answering my own question. And then was it looking at the average length of the average length of what somebody's watching it? What did you call it before? You had a term for it. The average view duration is called on YouTube. I always check on the percentage wise. So you said the first thing, subscribers. Yeah, subscribers are actually, there was actually a cool saying from another YouTube strategist. He said,
YouTube subscribers on YouTube do not matter. They only matter outside of YouTube. For example, if you're talking about like brand deals, you know, like how people see yourself, and it's like the social proofs, like I'm not telling you, it's like, I don't remember how many average views the Diary of the CEO is getting. I know he's 11 million subscribers or something like that, you know? I know Alex Hormozi has 3.5 million subscribers. Don't ask me how many average views he's getting, you know? So it's more about the social proof. But yeah, subscribers do not really matter. Funny thing is actually as well about the sales coach. He has a second channel. The first channel is like 10 years old. It just broke the 100,000 mark, which is like cool. It's nice. And I was celebrating as well. It's like, hey, cool. First client who's actually reaching that. Super cool. But I know like it's a cool feeling, but I know it's not there because the smaller channel, the podcast channel we're working on is having now 6,500 channels, 6,500 subscribers. And he's saying the smaller channel is making me almost more money than the big channel. So that's how you can see, okay, it does not really matter how big the channel is. It's still getting, though, I just checked, I think it was the big channel is getting 60,000 views per month, like with shorts included. And the smaller channel is getting, I think, 30,000 views around. That's, around 30,000 views. So half, like still, it's crazy. Just half, although, no, it's getting 20,000. No.
What's your view on paid YouTube views, you know, advertising around your video versus organic? You know, would you include an element of paid as part of a YouTube lead gen strategy, or would you completely lean on organic views?
So it depends. So if you are trying to sell something, you have a product, go for it. Like, go advertise it. We had an audit with someone who is purely going on paid traffic. And in fact, he had 1 month, we had 500,000 views on total on his channel, around 500,000.
Wow.
And he's getting, it's his sole strategy. He's just putting money into it. And he's getting organically, he's getting around like 2,000 views, on everything on long form. So I asked a question, like not to him directly, obviously, because I didn't want to offend him, but it's like, okay, you're getting 500,000 views. There's probably like the next month is probably going to be similar, maybe 400,000, maybe 600,000, who knows? But how many of these people are coming back? So that's why I don't see like paid traffic as something very good. I don't see it's really sticking, you know? So that's the big problem. So because from 500,000 people, you're only having like not even 2,000 people coming back. We're not talking about 1% here. So that's why I think it's so difficult with paid traffic with this. So that's why usually, another thing is like when I had to look into this data, it was a little bit more difficult to see what is working, what is not working, because now all the, like, it's what harder to fill out the data for each, traffic source. So for organic was like this, for paid traffic was there. So it was harder to fill out. And yeah, so that's why I would say I would go purely organic, which can be especially like 2025, it's getting harder and harder, to be honest, especially now the entry barrier is getting lower and lower. There are more people than ever on this platform. AI is helping everyone. AI is also diluting the whole platform because now there are faceless, millions of faceless channels, and you don't even know what's real anymore. So, yeah, but organic is for me the way.
Yeah, that's a big problem for all of us, isn't it? There'll be people listening to this thinking, I really need to start looking at YouTube as a lead gen channel. And like I said, they're probably focusing their time and effort on things like Meta or, TikTok or LinkedIn. So what 3 tips based on everything you've told us would you give those people if they want to get started in YouTube lead gen?
So if they're brand new, just start, because YouTube is a marathon. It's not a sprint, not like these other short form platforms. So you can see some people are blowing up on YouTube, but don't get confused by that, because most of these people, they either had another channel already, or they've been working with huge channels before. They have a huge brand. So just post. For example, I did a video on Alex Hormozi, how he grew recently, and I was shocked. he just posted in his first year when he started. It was just shortly after the pandemic. It was 2022 October something. And in his first year, he posted 140 videos. I was like, damn, that's 3 videos per week. And I was just looking at our channel. I was like, we had like 30 uploads. We're posting most of the times every week, but we're not trying to get a slave to the algorithm. It's like, okay. Why does it help? Like, first of all, you're gathering data to know what is working, what is not working. You kind of just throw in the beginning a little bit of spaghetti against the wall if you don't have lots of knowledge about your audience yet or data. Second of all, you're going to feed YouTube as well data, because in the beginning, YouTube has problems with small channels. That's the fact. They always say like they have a dedicated team, but I don't think they have it completely figured out yet, because you see sometimes comments like, wow, how can this channel only have so many subscribers? This channel should be super huge. So that's the thing. So first, just start, try to get just in the rhythm.
Yeah. So tip 1, just get started, launch your channel, start creating content. What about tip number 2?
Tip number 2, I would say like, let's start then. Okay, start figuring out what has been working, what hasn't been working, and try to, like, as I said, try to use trackable links, because this is going to show you, okay, this video might be just good for views, but this video was actually what my audience wanted. Why? Because they were clicking all on my landing page to figure out more. So this would be the second thing, to figure out what is working, what is not working, to gather all the data from your first phase. And then if we have step 3, I would just say, okay, now let's focus, double down on all the things that worked for like 80%, and then 20%, let's try something out, because maybe you're going to step on a new format, new video, new topic that is going to be your new banger.
And everything's got to have a clear call to action. Are you saying just have one call to action in every video?
Yeah, I always use the rule of 1. So I always say, like, think of the video in the beginning. Okay, do I want to lead people to the next video, which is like a previous video, or maybe like your huge case study? And then the case study is like, hey, I gave you everything. If you want to see it for yourself, click on the link down below.
Okay. And what do you normally have on your landing page then?
On my landing page, we have now, we just have a quick quiz to see, like, we show a case study. Obviously, what we did was, like, one of our best case studies. And then we just tell them, hey, click through the few questions to see if you qualify, and then otherwise we can work with you one-on-one, or we also have our school community where we're going to help you then with like weekly and more on the community side with other people and all this stuff.
That was great. It's real value, I think. Well, as you'd expect, speaking to a man like yourself. One question I've got a feeling I know what you're going to answer to this. So one question we often ask our guests is, who would you interview next if you were the ones, if you were running the podcast? What guests would you recommend we spoke to next?
So there's this one woman, I really like, because I'm always thinking about marketing is about the psychology, and our human psychology hasn't changed in years. So that's why, for example, like Jake Thomas, who is talking about purely human psychology about YouTube titles. So if you're talking about the YouTube space, it would be Jake Thomas. But there's this Canadian woman. Her name is, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but it's Caitlin Bourgoin, something like that. She's quite big on LinkedIn. She has, I think, close to 100,000 followers though, but she's always talking about psychology. It's like, yeah, think about the psychology first before you start like listening to any marketing guru. And she's always saying as well, ask your audience, because they have the question, not any marketing guru.
Oh, excellent. Well, we love a bit of psychology and behavioral science on this show. We've interviewed a few people over. In fact, if anyone's interested in that, check out the Richard Shotton episode, which is all about kind of behavioral psychology and marketing. So yeah, that sounds fascinating.
Yeah, great. And if people want to get a hold of you, David, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Just send me a connection on LinkedIn. As soon as I'm going to see a connection, I'm going to send you a message anyway.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, we'll stick your LinkedIn in the show notes and on the YouTube video. Woo! With a clear call to. Do you want a trackable link? Yeah. Thank you for coming on the show, David. That was great.
Yeah. Thanks, David. That was excellent.